All right. We are live with Shirley, but Shirley, can you say it in your amazing accent really quick?
Shirley.
Yes. See that? I'm so glad I asked twice. I just need to keep hearing that. It's fantastic. I'm so glad you're on the live with me. I know this is new to you, a Zoom live call, and I want to say you're doing great. So the first question I ask every single person that comes on the show is, how is your energy today? So how are you feeling?
How am I feeling? I am feeling phenomenal. I've had an amazing day. So yeah, loads of meditating, connecting. I've moved into a new office space, so I am like making the office space all energetically tuned. And yeah, I feel transcendent tonight. So
wow. And is that natural or intentional for you?
It's actually fairly natural. Yeah, I notice it when it's not quite there, and I'm used to just getting back to it quite quickly because my natural state is joyful and blissful. So, which I'm blessed. I'm blessed to feel that as a natural state.
I would say the same thing. I'm like, I am so grateful I'm wired this way because there's a lot to it, you know. And yeah. Lou says hello. She is watching.
Hi, Lou.
Insightfully, and we were just talking about you, Lou. So we both enjoy your existence in the human realm here. So, all right. Well, with that being said, Shirley, I'm going to dive into my epic intro. And in the meantime, you can share this on your phone and do whatever you need to do. So let's dive right in. So before we dive into this juicy conversation with Shirley, I want to talk about why we do what we do at Purpose Pioneers. And truthfully, we believe in a world where people fully align what they do to make money with what they do to experience meaning and fulfillment in their lives. Align their impact with their income, their meaning with their money, their purpose with their profit. Because I know if people have a gift and I can help them share it in a business form, then they can sustainably and scalably share their impact with the world. And I want to live in a world where people do that shit. That's what I want to do. So how do we do that? Well, we empower purpose-driven coaches like Shirley to craft their business from the purpose up, so they can go from confusion, spinning in circles. Am I going to have to go get a job? How do I do this business thing? Oh my God. We can take people from that to a place of confidence, clarity, and certainty in their business, in their message, and in their path as a coach. And that's really what it's all about. We had someone pop on, Shirley, from your meditation group, but I took care of it. Don't worry. So why are we on this show? Why are we with Shirley right now? Why are we doing this? Why are we on this conversation? Well, the fact of the matter is that Shirley matters, and her story matters, and what she's doing in the world matters. And we need people to know her, understand her, and see how she can help transform the world. Because purpose-driven coaches are on the front lines of transformation. They are raising the consciousness of humanity, and we need to propel this message out there into the world. Lou says, thank you. Midge says, I will catch the replay. Midge is in our program. She's amazing in every way. We have a lot of people on right now. We got 6 people hanging out with us. If you're hanging out right now, tell us your energy. What is your energy today? Because it's unique to you, and I want to hear about it. Hey, Josh Magro, he's going to be on the show as well. Wow, we're a popular crew here, Shirley. Let's do this. So I want to say, Shirley, we got 7 people now. Shirley was recommended to me by Lou Smart from Cornwall, one of my first friends from the other side of the Atlantic, and I'm so honored to call her a friend and have her be on the show. And I said, who are we going to talk to next? And she said, Shirley. It must be Shirley. She is the person that needs to have her message be shared. And with that being said, when she filled out our application, I read some cool stuff about her, and she believes in miracles. And I want to unpack that. I want to dive right into that. So Shirley, tell me about your journey through life and this word miracle. Because I know I asked the question, what do you believe that maybe go against the status quo? You said miracles and magic are real. So have you ever had any doubts in that in your life? And how has your journey led you to believing that and sharing that belief with the world?
Well, I first realized that I was built this way when I was 7, when I saw my then passed away grandma come and visit me. And I was a bit scared, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd be freaking
Yeah, it was a bit freaky, 7-year-old.
Yeah.
She visited me again when I was 12. At 7, I couldn't hear the message. It was just a feeling of love and just pure peace. At the age of 12, she said to me, you're here for a reason. You need to spread your joy, your soul energy to the earth. And I've had this message now several times. In terms of miracles, because of that, and because of what I've seen and what I've experienced. So I've had chronic illness several times in my life. And it's always happened when I've needed to reconnect to the universal energy.
Damn.
And I've had obviously an old pattern of work, get sick, connect, work, get sick, connect. And I think a lot of people have that pattern because something stops them in their life, and that's when they reassess. You hear of the guy who's had the heart attack, the guy who's had cancer, and this is how they find the universe, they find the divine, and they find God and the creator. And I believe that it's not necessary to create sickness, that you can find this and tune into this without having to create that drama in the human life. As for miracles, miracles are everywhere. So I see the child recovering from a fever as a miracle. I see, for me, waking up in the morning and being able to get out of bed when I didn't used to be able to. That's a miracle. The fact that I can hug my kids is a miracle. So, when people talk about miracles, often it's assumed that I'm waiting for the sea to part. No, it can be as big as that. It can be as big as an instant healing. It can. And it can equally be as small as losing a belief of I have to be poor to get noticed. All of these things for me are miracles. And so,
Wow. Well, if you believe miracles are real and you're watching, write in the comments in all capitals, miracles are real. Because I believe it. I believe it too. And I used to not until I think I shifted my mindset to open myself up to seeing the world in a miraculous way. So a lot of it had less to do with it's kind of like what Wayne Dyer says. He says, you can see it to believe it or believe it to see it.
Yes.
And flipping that changed everything in my life. Was I began, and it was more of a natural thing, but I began intentionally seeing the world in lights and love and smiles and connection and possibility. And in that consciousness and awareness, I began allowing the awareness of miracles to enter into my reality. And Joanna says miracles are real, and Viva says, wow, she's blown away. So
wow. So I feel like I'm in really great company here. Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So what do you feel about flipping that belief from see it to believe it to see it?
Oh, completely. If you believe something hard enough and fast enough and have faith in it completely without even a shred of a doubt, it'll happen. It'll happen for you, and you'll see it.
Shirley, I want to provide a meaningful reflection to you. You enter into these moments where you close your eyes when you're speaking, and I can feel the presence of it. I can feel like it's coming from somewhere and in the moment. It's nothing rehearsed. It's nothing in the neocortex. It's coming from a different place. And what do you think about that? How do you feel when you enter into that?
Well, when I speak about these things, I do connect. I'm connecting most of the time, and to really hear the message, because I actually see the messages coming through. So it just helps sometimes to close my eyes to really feel into the truth of the message and make sure that my conscious mind isn't, and my, the ego part, which everybody has, isn't interfering in the message that's coming through. Because you're talking to me and I'm connecting up through Creator, and you're hearing the message through Creator via me.
Isn't that beautiful? Real time. It's some fast, it's really fast internet. Yeah.
Fast internet. And across all time, space, and dimension. So, You know, when people hear this and feel this on a replay, for example, they will get to feel that same energy.
Yeah, through space and
energy,
time.
yeah, through space and time. It's the energy of unconditional love. So
do you think unconditional love is another dimension? Do you think it's beyond space and time? Do you think that is another realm?
No.
Okay,
I believe it's part of every single cell, atom, and energy of every single being, galaxy, universe. It is all part of us. It's all in us. It's all, we're all connected to it, and we can access it. If we, want to like meditatively access it, you can access it by going up. But actually, in reality, you're not going up. You're just expanding your cellular knowing. I think it's the best way for me to describe that.
You know what I love about that is I used to think of self-growth as like almost, I didn't realize it, but linear achievement in a way, where I was going higher and higher. And I realized it was really more unpacking layers and layers to get back. And there's this T.S. Eliot quote that's so epic. It's like, I journeyed my whole life and I did all this stuff only to get back, or to end up at the very beginning, and it felt like home for the first time.
Yes.
Are you familiar with that quote?
I'm not consciously familiar with that quote.
Oh, correct. But clearly you were connecting with it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I feel that way too. I feel like every time I make some kind of spiritual breakthrough, I'm more liberating myself from something that was in the way, as opposed to getting over something.
Yeah, totally. The soul, the spirit essence is the purest form of you, or the expression of you in this this iteration, shall we say. And so as we come down and are birthed into this life, there are lots of lessons that are needed to learn. They're like not like negative lessons, like things like virtue, compassion, truth. All of these lessons we are here to relearn as a human being in this iteration. So in order to get back to that truth, those are the layers that we're unpacking. So we unpack a layer, we get lower, we get lower, we get right down into, like you say, home, truth, and the soul.
That's crazy. That home, that's like that's what home is. Like our life is about just coming home.
Yeah.
That's
and
wild.
I think a lot of people touch home when they do something or experience something that is their true passion. So for me, I used to love dancing. I was a dancer for a while, and I became an aerobics instructor because I couldn't actually make it in the professional dancing world, just generally. And I remember going into every single aerobics class and feeling like I was touching home, because there was a feeling of euphoria, of bliss, of joy. And I was in touch with the energy, and I could feel the energy transmitting across the class and lifting everybody in the class to, way beyond fitness, just pure transcending joy. And it was beautiful. And, I feel like I touch home on these sort of things. Artists touch home regularly.
Wow. So Viva says, I believe that too. We are divine and powerful. What we believe we create. That was going back to that quote from earlier. And then she wants to know the quote, the T.S. Eliot quote. I will post that in the comments later. I don't know it exactly. But yes, she said she'll catch the replay, but we'll be leaving it. That's okay. And hey, Myra, she is someone I met today who is now friends with me on Facebook and leaning into this meaningful conversation, which is awesome.
Lovely.
So something I want to tune into here, and it's a question, and I'm more curious about what you think about the question than the answer. Why? Because I believe in that the universal law per se is that love is rooted in everything, and getting back in touch with it is coming home, and that is the spiritual journey and all of those things. And the question I have, and I want to hear your thoughts on the question itself,
Good question. Okay.
is why does love win? Why is love the thing that grounds all of us, is the core of everyone? Why is that true? And then I'm curious, like, does it matter why? So what do you think about that?
What do I think about the question?
Yeah, the question.
Okay, so I would want to know why you are asking that question.
I'm asking because I constantly ask myself whether I want to know the answer or not. And in my journey, I used to look for answers, and I was like, I want to know the answer. This, what are the rules for everything? And now I more live in the question, and I experience gratefulness and joy in the experience itself. And that's enough for me these days. But a part of me does want to know answers. Sometimes I watch videos of the universe, like time lapsing into trillions of years in the future. Pretty cool video, actually. I'll put that in the comments too. So a part of me does want to know the answer while I am sitting in the question as well. So I don't know. It's been a journey of mine.
Well, I think you're already sitting in love. And it's the other emotions and feelings that are sitting on top of love. And when there is that unpacking and unlayering, you can experience the full love. And it's an odd word, love, really, because it can mean so many things.
Yeah.
So when you're experiencing joy and bliss, it can also be equal to love. But unconditional love is a non-judgment. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. It's just an expression of what is. That's what it means to me.
Wow. Yeah, and I agree. That's what I've found. And thank you for hitting that, because I've also began to understand, as I've surrendered and released control in bits of my life, I've found that the life I want to live is the non-judgmental life. Is I want to step out of judgment and into curiosity and wonder. And it's not that that's right or wrong, good or bad. It's what I should do. It's the path. None of that. I just want to. It's what I want. It's a life I want to live. And speaking of love, it's not, you're right, it's not joy and happiness all the time. It's all of the emotions. It's all of what is. So what a powerful thing to be in love in every moment of life, no matter what the emotion is coming up.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I know that's a lot of your work is rooted in.
Yeah, exactly. It's the blessedness of being able to experience all these things. That's what we come here for. That's what the soul comes here for. Because otherwise it would be sitting in the realm of unconditional love and just chilling out.
Candle in the sun. Have you heard Candle in the Sun? Yeah.
Yeah,
Neil
exactly.
Donald Walsh said that. He said, we come here to experience contrast so we can finally experience who we really are.
Exactly. So, without the dark, there isn't the light. Without the war, there isn't the peace. How can you revel in the gratitude and the gratefulness of the wondrous things without the contrast of the others?
That's it. That's the balance.
Mm.
Like, that's why I think the Jedi, I think about the Jedi in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to eliminate the dark side.
No.
They want to come into balance with the dark side.
Well, the fact that there is the dark side and the Jedi shows us that balance.
Yeah.
Without the dark side, the light side wouldn't exist, The Jedi wouldn't exist without that.
They wouldn't know their light.
They would just...
They wouldn't know.
No.
They wouldn't know. They would have no idea.
They wouldn't experience it, yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So,
Joanna says that is so true, Shirley. And my mom says hi. And she called you.
Oh, hi, Thomas, Mom.
Yes, you are useful.
Fantastic. Sorry.
Oh, please finish your epic thought.
I was just going to say, part of the main portion of the work that I do is not only about getting to goals and things. It's allowing people to experience the love and the light in the moment and to enjoy the journey towards that. And that every part of the journey can be an experience of experience.
But what about the pain, Shirley? What about the grief? What about the hopelessness, the depression? What about the feeling like maybe it's not worth it? What about when those feelings come up?
So when those feelings come up, it's usually a case of feelings underneath, things of self-worth, not enough, self-love. And then it's really important to take that person back into their soul light to experience the love and to reconnect them. So when those things have come up, it's because they've disconnected from the unconditional love, from the, you know, the universal unconditional love, whether it's upwards or outwards. And it's really important to get into that soul space and to talk directly to that soul space, to have it realize and understand. And it's not conscious. It's not a conscious level. It's an energetic level. To have that space realize that what they're experiencing is part of their experience and that they're not ready to check out yet, if that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, when I've dealt with people with illnesses such as terminal cancer, there's very often that despair. There's that's it. I'm gone. And it's important to speak with the soul space, because that's where the miracle happens. When the soul space realizes or knows that they're not ready to leave, if that's the case.
Right.
And then you can reignite the belief and the faith and whatever they're doing to help themselves. Then starts to manifest.
Is there, because clearly you've had some moments like this. Is there
I have.
Is there a moment that's coming to you right now that really touches on this, that really brings this to life?
Yeah, very recently I worked with a lady who had just lost someone close to her. And she came to me just on a chat call, you know, and I could see that the soul was hurting, and what she was after was instant removal of the pain. And so it was important to keep her grounded in that moment, to hold the space for her, and also for her to realize that it's okay to feel that.
Yeah.
It's okay to breathe through that and to take time to grieve.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a matter of just removing it. You know, people want to ignore it and it gets buried down. It just adds to your layers. So yeah, I mean, at that point I connected up with the spirit of the person who had deceased, and we had a little chat.
A wee chat.
A wee chat.
Is that you call that over there, right?
Yeah, a wee chat.
So what was the miracle in that moment, do you think?
The miracle in that moment was keeping her safe. Keeping her safe, because at that point sometimes it's very difficult to introduce hope. So what you want is somebody to, or what I want is somebody to be peaceful enough to sit in the energy for as long as it takes for them to lift out.
Wow, that's holding space.
Yeah.
Divine feminine power right there. That's amazing. Wow, Shirley. Well, this is deep. I'm loving this. So what do you think about the collective consciousness? So something I ask all the time is, and this is a question I want to pose to you. I'm very curious to hear your response. Time to sit with it if you need to. If you could bring one idea, concept, feeling, one something into the awareness of every human in particular on this planet, just Earth only, What would you bring? Well, I don't know what's beyond that currently.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you what would you bring into their awareness on a collective level?
Okay. What would I bring?
Sit with that.
I would bring down awakening to the next evolution of the earth, and an opening to see what it's there, what is coming, because it's beautiful.
What's
And
coming?
What's coming? Well, what's happening is we're having lots of. This is what I believe, that we're having lots of. I call them knots in the fabric of reality. So knots like wars and racism and things are coming up. And the reason that they're coming up is because there is a whole heap of humanity that is awakening and lifting the energy. So all of the darker energy is coming up to be lifted. So I would want to connect those knots to the untangling of awakening.
Wow. So and I want to reflect back and tell me if I'm reflecting this. So humanity was very tangled, and it's been untangling and untangling, and now we're untangled, but some of the knots that are left are being invited into the ascent.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because wars and hating the other has been around for millennia.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. and there's more coming up, but actually we're in a very, very good place.
It's a miraculous place. It's a
really great place. And the only reason that sometimes it doesn't feel that way is because we're so connected. So where before you wouldn't hear about what was going on, now it's thrust upon you. And it takes for the beings of the lighter, the more vibrationally in tuned people, to keep going with their mission and not give energy to the darkness. So it's not a matter of looking at the darkness and jumping in. I believe that we have to do our work, and then that energy will spread out and the darkness will just sort itself. It might not happen in our lifetimes, of course, but we're part of that. We're part of that evolution.
That reminds me of Martin Luther King. He said, I think it was him, or maybe he borrowed it from a master, an ancient master, perhaps. But he said, darkness cannot drown out darkness. Only light can do that. And that's what I see. I think the thing that I have emotion to, I think the thing that gets me a little stirred up, and I'm always doing my work with that, is when I see people fighting darkness with darkness, or hate with hate, per se. And sometimes I see signs that say, like, we will not let hate win, and I'm like, I feel the resistance in that compared to just love. And then also if someone's being hateful and I want to be loving, do I hate them for being hateful, or do I love them anyway? In that sense, do I give the person I think is bad, and I'm using these words very intentionally, do I give them a hug, or do I kick them out because they're not like me and a part of them, spiritually enlightened, per se? And I think I'm seeing a lot of people in dissonance, not realizing they're in dissonance. And what do you think about that concept?
Well, for me, if you're as soon as you separate from another being of light, you're disconnecting from the fabric of unconditional love. So I feel that I don't have to join them in the hate, but I equally don't need to separate from it. I just stay in my space. I keep being as much as you can, the pure love being, and don't participate in that drama.
Wow. But it's so easy to get sucked into it. I mean,
Yeah.
especially on with technology, we're connected, and I feel
Mm.
like with technology, it's easy to dehumanize in a way,
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
not looking at a human, I'm looking at a picture and a profile and a body text, and it's not really another human being. So it's making it harder to stay in that connected space. Yeah, so it's a very peculiar scenario. While we are ascending, we are also connecting in a very disconnected way. It's an interesting balance.
And also what's been happening is, especially with all the social media side of things, is there's lots of filters, and it's almost it's another layer to get energy through. But when you actually sit and tune in, it is possible to tune in to the energy of a person through a picture.
I agree.
You can send whatever you want through the universal energy space, unconditional love space, through. And yeah, I turn away from the negative imagery. And if it does come in, which it does, you know, I just say, I choose love.
Woo!
I choose love.
Yes. I love that. I always ask myself this question, and let's say I'm like watching a YouTube video and there's some political figure I don't agree with. That whole game is very strange in ways. But when I enter into that, I'll be listening, and a part of me will be reacting from a place of fear. And the question, I have this hack I use that it really helps me stay in tune and stay connected, is I ask myself two sides of a question, and I want to hear feedback on this. It's if I'm acting in fear, if I'm speaking, thinking, acting, feeling from fear, what will my response be in this situation? And then if I'm acting, speaking, thinking, feeling, doing from a place of love, what will my response to this situation be? And the feeling on the love side is like, it's very liberating. It's very expansive. It's like I'm feeling very emotional about it right now. And it changes my whole life. So I'm curious, what do you think about that in particular?
Well, that's a really great way of feeling into it. And what I notice is, as the words coming through, the energy comes from a different part of the body, a different energy area. And once you get into the heart space, then you get the feelings of love. And equally to notice that whatever you're seeing or hearing has a lesson to teach. It may be the most atrocious thing that we can think of. It has a lesson to teach. And oftentimes, if you're hearing it, it's because there is a lesson for you to learn from it.
Totally.
So
the powerful idea that the universe is always working for me. And to reflect on that, what I found is every time I decide that something is working for me, all of a sudden I feel I'm opening myself up to possibility.
Yeah.
Possibility is on the other side of that. And when I think it's working against me, I'm closing myself off to potentially the endless amount of miracles that could happen.
Totally.
It's a total mindset shift, and it's totally changed the game for me. And it sounds like you've been living in that space for
it's always expansion. And for me, when I was in my chronic illness, I had a long time in that. I was very contracted from people. So I was connecting with the universe regularly, but I isolated myself from people completely because I wasn't able to deal with the energetic attack, or it felt like attack. And it took a long time for me to get my head around, because I would always say, no, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. And that's such a forceful, resistant space to come from. Whereas when you can say, okay, I'm going to flow, and whatever happens, happens. And then people who would bring the right lessons would appear. So I would be greeted with lovingness, with firmness, with discipline, with all the lessons that I needed to learn
Yeah.
to come out and be comfortable with everything that was going on around me.
That's transformation right there. That I want everyone to know that all the humans on Earth and outside of Earth, all beings, they need to hear what you just said. Wow. So Shirley, the one thing I do at the end of every show is talk about our community and our movement. And it's called the Purpose Sphere, and it's a place for purpose-driven coaches who are out there on the front lines of transformation, who are raising the consciousness of humanity, who are pioneering into the unknown and inviting people to go along for the ride.
Yes.
The people, that's really what it is. I'm like, I'm figuring this shit out. Let's go. And people who are using business, this vehicle, as a force for good. And I just think it's so cool that that business at its core is about serving others, and that we can love and be loved in return. And then also experience freedom in that process is so damn cool. So my question for you is, how does it feel being a part of something like that? Because you are a part of our movement.
Yeah. Feels amazing. Feels amazing. It feels like coming home. Oh. So, being around people who, you can discuss quantum with, people who are open to words like transcendence, who are open to words like divine. Not the whole population is not yet open to that. And being able to translate that into the rest of the world, is just amazing. It feels really good. I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you for that reflection. Definitely received, and I'm grateful that you're with us on this journey. Lou says, creators of the new Earth.
Yes. Yep. Thank you, Lou.
Sister. I got you. And then Lucielma says, pray hands and flower. So
thanks, Lucy.
Thank you. And so with that being said, if anyone watching right now is a purpose-driven coach, join us in the Purpose Sphere. Join people like Shirley, people like me, people like Lou. I think my mom's in there too, just because she wants to be, and she's a really amazing transformational person in her own right. Very talented in art, which she is embracing. And Mom, I got to text you back about what you said about art. So I will do that right after this, Mama Bear. And Lou says, thank you, Shirley, XX. This woman loves you a lot. So fantastic. So with that being said, Shirley, any final words, feelings, anything you want to express?
Yeah, just walk with love. Hold it to you, hand it out, expand with it, and know that you and everybody else are all one. We're all connected. So
no other words are needed.
I'm feeling that here. So Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And there's more than enough space for you to share that. That was powerful. And yes, Lou, Jen is my mom. So she asked if that was my mom. Perfect. Well, Shirley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm glad to now call you a friend. I'm really glad you're with us in the Purpose Sphere and in this moment right now. And with that being said, I'm going to have a radiant, awesome freaking day now. So I'm really excited for the rest of my moments to play right now. And as we end this show, it'll end our Zoom call as well. So it's bye for now.
Bye for now.
We are connected forever.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Thomas.
All right, Shirley. Purpose Pioneers out.
Bye.